Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the 2-3 Zone. TonySpix.com's look at the WNBA here for the run on Sunday, June 15th. There's we got the action here, a three-game card on Sunday here, and we'll take a look at some of the action from Friday as well. Saw some great results there with Atlanta. They crushed Chicago after the Sky kind of gave them a little bit of a challenge early, and then late night. Vegas was able to get it done. Dallas got the money, but man, that was a scare again. Dallas played well and got the money as Vegas won it by four. And then we saw a game also on Saturday afternoon. We saw Minnesota absolutely club the traveling Sparks.
Yep, we were dead wrong about that one, weren't we? Because I had I had the under, and you had the Sparks in that one, and they just, man, I tell you. But shout out to all the fathers. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. But we're going to concentrate on the ladies right now, so let's get into it, Ramon.
Go to the WNBA game on Father's Day. That's what we should do. All right, let's take a look at these three games here. We're in still Commissioner's Cup play, so we'll include that information. Two teams that aren't going to be cashing in this season: Chicago Sky on the road here, taking on Connecticut. Hey, we got to play them all. And both teams are 2-7 right now. The Sky have lost three straight. Ron. Both teams are 3-6 to the number. Sky are 0-3 in the Cup. Connecticut's 1-2 in the Cup. They're favored in this one by 1.5 over Chicago, 159.5. We got bottom feeders here, Ron. So who can separate themselves from the rest of the bottom of the clubs, I guess.
After last night, who's the worst team in the league? It's not Dallas anymore. I mean, right? Not to get
Well,
that outright win, and
they have less wins of these guys, but they look
uh,
better.
but Chicago beat them twice, right? So yeah. But I'm going to look at the Sun in this one. I think, as a home favorite, they probably get it done. Chicago's just horrible, man. I had the over 160 last night, and we ended at 158. I was so mad. And on the show, I took a shot with the Sky. They hung in that first half. They actually led, and at one point there, and yeah, they just, man, it was just, they're just horrible guys. Not scoring, not defending. It just blew up in that second half, and I knew the Sky plus 12.5 was dead, but I thought at least we'd get over that thing. I mean, it was 4 points to go with like a minute 15. I figured we'd get a couple baskets. We only got one, so ended up at 158, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm gonna look at the Sun in this one. They're home. Give me the Sun. Money line. Yeah, I'll take the money line.
Yeah, they're laying just a little bit here, but almost a pick 'em game anyway. But Connecticut just a little bit of maybe it's the home, maybe it's the home court edge. Only worth 1.5 with the bad teams, I guess. Ron in this one, but
Yeah.
yeah. So Chicago, they did look good there a little bit. You're right, offensively, they were definitely pacing higher than their team total a little bit. Still fell short of their team total again, but again, they were against a team that certainly is much better in Atlanta. And I think here, Connecticut's 3-1 to the over at home. And while, yes, Chicago's woes there a little bit, I think when you're talking about teams of a similar ilk, I think Chicago will be able to do some scoring here. I think Connecticut also will be able to have a better game than what they've been doing here of late. And I think this is going to result in an over here. I think the number here at 159, yeah, that's just a tad under the average total here right now. But again, I think it's defense that these teams are lacking. Chicago's supposed to be that defensive team, and really, that's not the way they're playing right now. I don't even know if they have a identity, if you will, right now with these clubs, especially Chicago. So I'll take the over 159 in this one. Ron is on the Sun lay a money line there for Ron. Okay.
Yep.
Next up, the Atlanta Dream are on the road. They're taking on the Washington Mystics. The Dream are favored here on the road at 5, 158.5. Washington snapped a three-game skid by defeating Connecticut last game. Washington, though, is just 1-2 in the Cup. Atlanta's 2-1, so they could fit their way in a little bit here if they keep winning, but they are on the road here. They are 7-3 overall, 7-3 against the spread. Washington 4-6 straight up, 6-4 against the spread. Should note here, Ron, that Atlanta 5-0 to the over on the road
Mm-hmm.
coming into this one, but also they're 2-4 to the under as a favorite, and Washington's 2-5 to the under as a dog. So help me figure this one out with Atlanta favored on the
Yeah.
road, 5-158.
I can't figure out Atlanta. They'll lose to a horrible team, but then they just come back and win. I'm trying to raise them up in my power rankings. Try to that mid tier, 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there. They're a great team, but man, they're just so unpredictable. But they do score. And as Washington played in a month, because I haven't. it seems like they haven't played in a month, man. What, June 8th? I think it was their last game, almost a week ago. It's like, geez. But yeah, the Mystics great at home. They're going to score. I think this one goes way over, like you said. What was your stat? 5-0 to the over. But yeah, I'm
Over in this role though, they're under Atlanta under team is a favorite, Washington an under
yeah,
team is a dog, but Washington's also a slightly over team at home. So
yeah.
having a little trouble with the total. Go ahead.
I think both of them can score. Like I said, you look at this thing. The over has been pretty hot in the Atlanta Dreams. They're getting into the 90s consistently.
Okay.
We've seen that top 80s. For both teams. With this total, 160. I'm thinking maybe 168, somewhere around there.
Okay.
165 at least. So yeah, definitely give me the over in that one.
Okay, if you're confident about that, that's going to make it a little bit clearer for me because I would think that if it does go over, then look, like I said, Washington, the games that they're at home have been slightly over, and Atlanta's a big over on the road. So I think that that kind of plays into the hands of Washington as a home dog. They're 4-1 against the spread at home. So I'm going to throw out the fact that they were on that long layoff at this point. I know there could be rust here a little bit, but I'll call it rest maybe here. And I think I want to take these points actually at home, 5-point dog right now. Washington's been a pretty fine cover. Like I said, a 4-1 ATS at home. Atlanta's among the better teams against the spread at 7-3 overall, but I'm going to go ahead and take these 5 points here with the Mystics. Ron is on the over 158 in this one. All right, and we've got one late afternoon, early evening game. It's here in Las Vegas, Ron. We're trying to figure out what's wrong with the Aces. Now, I'm being critical of them for that win over Dallas. They actually almost ended up getting the money because once Aisha Wilson was declared out of that last game, the line did drop all the way to 5 in a game where, when we were on the air, I think it was when we were talking about the game on the air, it was a little bit higher. We didn't know that Wilson, I don't think, was going to be out when we were discussing at the time. But still, Dallas was the one that, I think made the splash. Becker's had another fine game, and Las Vegas had to scramble just to get the win. They still almost ended up covering with a little bit of, the way it was going down the stretch there. There was some free throws going on, and I thought Vegas even had the money there for a minute. They're favored here from this one tentatively by 7.5. 159.5 here in this one, Ron. Right now, in the Cup, Las Vegas is 2-3, Phoenix is 3-2. They both have plenty of work to do right now with Minnesota 4-1, Seattle 3-1. So probably just getting this game will be most important for both teams in the overall standings at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And again, we're looking at the over here. I know Becky Hammond's going to get in their tails, man, and probably 3 in a row they've lost now. That's just ridiculous. But we talk about the Aces are really not as good as they were when Kelsey Plum was running that point last year. Jewel Lloyd just hasn't fit in that system, and with Asia Wilson out possibly again, I just don't know what we're going to get with that Aces team. So I'm definitely going to look at the total. 8 of the last 10, 20 of the last 27. I know it's different ball players here, but it's just a trend to the over in that one. So give me the over with the Mercury and the Aces.
Okay, Ron says go over here, 159.5, Phoenix and Las Vegas. I think I've just got to keep going against this Aces team, at least with the number here, right? Right now,
Mhm.
you mentioned it, the three straight failures to cover here right now for Las Vegas. They're just 3-6 against the spread. They're having enough trouble just winning these games. And we know Phoenix has played pretty well so far. I mean, 7-4, if anything. They're 6-5 against the spread. I'm not saying they're overrated at all. They've done a real nice job revamping this roster a little bit and making themselves up, obviously pretty contentious here right now in the West. So I'm going to go ahead and take these points, 7.5 here on Sunday. Give me the Phoenix Mercury. And Ron says go over 159.5. All right, well, that's going to do it for our look at the WNBA here for Sunday, June 15th, Father's Day. Rahan over at Tony'sPicks.com. We've got some still big games coming up in the NBA, NHL, and, of course,
Oh
our
yeah.
other sports, Major League Baseball and the like. What's going on for you?
Now we predicted it yesterday. We got now a 2-2 NBA series. We got a 2-2 NHL series. We'll see what happens tonight in Edmonton. But man, this is gonna these things could go the distance here, both of them, which is great for sports and great for betting. So you'll have us for another week, in the NHL and NBA, and of course with the WNBA is going to take center stage after those series are completed. But yeah, still doing very well. Number one in NBA, top three in NHL, top WNBA. So yeah, and you got Ramon doing that baseball thing, and my baseball is getting hotter as the summer progresses too. And we started some CFL, so there's a lot of sports going on behind the scenes. Not the primary sports that you're used to, but definitely other sports over there at Tony's Picks. But make sure you pair us up. Look at them good cappers. They're on the leaderboards. It's full transparency. And make sure you check out all our videos that we're providing every day at Tony's Picks.
Yeah, great idea, Ron, because that's why you and I do it over there at Tony'sPicks.com. You can see all the wins, all the losses, no hype, no frills. You get picks, winning
I
picks.
suck. You'll see I suck.
All of our records are there. You can go back
Yep.
all the way and check them all out. We don't reset the board. We just keep on picking games over there at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off all premium pick packages. All right, it's going to do it. I'll check you again, Ron, next time for the 2-3 zone with Ron Crawford. I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.